Return to Glory podcast. Hunter Sarpenick, Austin Rose, and back from the dead, Dakota Freetag, joining us this morning.
Finally, I'm back. My voice still isn't 100%. I don't know. I haven't had a voice for like 3 weeks. I don't know where it went. I need to go find it.
Do you have a disease?
I have.
Coincide with USC beating Nebraska. That's all I have to say. Oh, I can't talk. Oh, gosh, geez.
Yeah. No, I went to the doctor. I have a infection or something. I don't know what it is, but she's like, "Oh, you'll be getting a week." It has not gone. It's been 3 weeks.
Is that why you missed the last two episodes?
One of the last two.
Oh, what was the other one?
Well, and he missed a couple more before that. I think you missed like the whole week prior.
Yeah, I don't know, Dak. I mean, I gotta ask you. I mean, explain yourself a little bit.
Well, can't go in it too much, but let's say Sunday had a little fun day, and yeah, I had a little bit too much fun. I'm not going to dive into it fully on here, but yeah.
Well, I don't care about what actually happened from it. I mean, for the podcast purposes, as a friend, I do. But I got to ask you about the podcast. How important is this podcast to you?
Like, so important. I absolutely love it. There's just nothing I look more forward to than a 6 a.m. Thursday Zoom meeting. I love it.
Grinding.
No, it actually, I love being on here. Don't make it tear up.
Well, what's your value?
I bring electricity, the juice. I got you guys all jacked up before we came on here. Austin was running laps before this. We're all ready to rock and roll.
That's true. I'm ready. Once I knew Dak was we felt a little lost.
How about this? I'll make a deal. Until basketball season's over, unless I'm sick, I will not miss another podcast.
That's a bold statement.
Unless I'm sick, like then I can get out, or if I have something actually going on. But yeah,
what's our punishment if he misses another one?
Well, if it's Sunday,
you've already given up your Oklahoma Sooner, fandom. So we've really lost our key. Maybe we make him like root for Texas or something.
Yes, if I missed it because of what I did Sunday, just hit me a baseball bat. We'll just say that.
Okay, easy enough. I'll take that.
Yeah, actually, that's a deal. Yeah,
that and we're gonna make you on air sing some song, do some karaoke.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you know what? It might be on you guys because usually we do this in the morning. I didn't know we were doing it at night.
Yeah, don't even go there.
No, totally on me. I won't miss another one unless I'm sick.
Good.
Or I have something actually going on that
you predetermined,
that you two can vote on if it's reasonable enough.
Okay. We'll allow it. Well, glad you're back, Dak.
Glad you're back for UCLA week and the last 3 games of the year for the Huskers. Oh, we said it, I guess, the midway point that these last 6 games, it was going to be a roller coaster, and that's been the word we've used, I think, every podcast since then, because it's been nothing short of that. 3 games left. We head out to LA in the Rose Bowl with a new quarterback as Dylan Raiola is out for the season, coming off I'm gonna call it a heartbreaking loss. There are a lot of good things. Yeah, there's a lot of good things that were done. But yeah, a 21-17 loss to UCLA or USC. How many times am I going to mix up USC and UCLA this podcast?
Yeah, probably plenty.
A lot.
Dak, I guess first off, I want to get your thoughts as being the big Lincoln Riley fan. Give us your quick take on the USC game. Almost did it again.
We'll just say that son of a bitch got lucky. If if Dylan Raiola stays in that game, they win that game 100%. Now I told you I thought the Teef looks great on Sunday or Saturday. Apparently, he didn't. But anyway, it looked like Latif was just super scared to come in the game, which I don't blame him. It's a huge game, bad moment. You don't know what's coming in.
Shut you down. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame him for being that nervous. It's just a bad first start, nerves, all that. Other than that, I thought defense played well enough. I thought actually, besides breaking your quarterback's leg, I thought actually both lines played decent, pretty good actually. The O-line, D-line. I didn't think they were horrible, which is a step up. Yeah. Other than that, all I gotta say is I don't know how Dylan Raiola was walking on a broken fibula. I thought he was gonna come back in the game there for a little bit. He's standing on the sidelines, jumping around on a broken fibula. I don't know how it's
I thought he
possible.
was coming back.
Do you think he's actually hurt, or do you think it's a conspiracy?
See, that's the thing is, did he actually break his fibula? Because there's no way you can walk off the field with a broken fibula.
Why would he be faking it?
I
He's
know.
transferring.
Yeah, but the more I'm thinking about this, how's that possible? He was like limping off the field, unless he's just that
Tell
tough.
us the extent of the broken fibula.
Yeah, I guess.
Could just be like a crack.
Yeah, and I guess 3 games left. You're not. You can't really heal a cracked fibula.
He is having surgery on it
True. He is having
in New
surgery
York.
in New York.
I'm not implying that it's.
I know.
I
I'm
might
trying to
be.
even think what could possibly be a conspiracy theory that we could start this podcast. It would have to be he's transferring out, right? He wants to, but there's no point because he's already lost his red shirt. There's no benefit to not playing at the end of the year, unless
Hey,
if
man.
he's threatened by TJ as a backup, and he wants him to flounder the last 3 weeks so that TJ leaves, so that he doesn't have to worry about a quarterback controversy next year.
Him and Dana got in a halftime argument, and Dylan purposely faked an injury, so now he's out for the year.
Oh, there you go. He's trying to get Matt Rule fired.
Well, there are 3 games left, and we sit at 6-3, and we just went down the what if scenarios of what's probably not even a what if scenario, but I do want to talk through how these 3 games could go and some of the different implications, because I think it could go a lot of ways, and there's probably some that are more likely than others. I believe we will be underdogs, most likely, in all 3 of them. There's a chance maybe that we could be favored at home, depending on how the first 2 go against Iowa. But right now, as we currently sit, I believe we're a 1.5 point underdog this week at UCLA.
It opened a lot higher than that, didn't it?
ESPN bet has us at 2.5. I don't know if I ever saw any higher.
I thought it was like 3.5, 4.5 when I looked on Sunday.
The highest I saw I get to was 3, which was right after the Raiola news came out. So I guess let's start with what if scenario of what if we lose all 3 of these games, and finish the year 6-6. Obviously, right now we're not fighting for a bowl game berth, which we have done that several years in the past, but that would put us at the exact same spot record wise as we were last year, heading into a bowl game. If that does happen, and I guess if you want to go off of the betting odds, the most likely scenario is that to happen. What does that mean? Or where does that leave us heading into the off season?
I mean, it's a little bit of a loaded question because it kind of depends on why we lose the games. If TJ Latif goes out there and just looks terrible, all of a sudden, like the story becomes, well, just Dylan got hurt. Our backup quarterback was unable to perform against Iowa and Penn State, which are both very talented teams. Penn State looks like garbage this year, but
yeah, let's say TJ looks. I mean, let's just say average. I mean, he could look terrible, I guess. But let's just say that he probably doesn't look. He's not great, but he's not bad. But we lose. Yeah, let's just say we lose. Let's say we just lose all of them by the spread.
Gosh.
I mean, where would your guys' heads at be after? I mean, heading into the off season. I guess the bowl game first, but the off season.
It's
I guess there'd still be part of me that's just like, it's, there's part of me right now that's like, whatever happens the rest of the year kind of is just whatever happens. You lose your starting quarterback, you lose 3 of your starting offensive linemen. I guess it's only 2 technically.
so do you think Jesus. See, I'm still sick. Do you guys think that the narrative should be or will be if they do lose all these 3 games? That just came down to injuries or whatever. Because I don't think that's a good excuse. Because Latif is supposed to be pretty good now. If he does go out there look like shit, I guess whatever, you can use that excuse. But every team has injuries. Like Penn State's lost their quarterback. They haven't looked good either. But
right. Name a team that lost their quarterback looks good.
Yeah, I just don't think you can use the excuse injuries are the problem. I mean, you're playing 2 teams right now that fired their coach. One of them lost their quarterback. The other team, UCLA, I'm talking about, I guess is looking better. You can use that excuse, but the Penn State one, I don't think you can use any excuses for that.
Thanks, Dak. I'm down your path, and I completely agree. I am definitely scared of not just the 0-3 scenario, but even a 1-2, or maybe even a 2-1, but probably the first 2. That if that happens, and Rule kind of already, unfortunately, maybe sensed it that when he mentioned on Monday feeling bad for the seniors, and on one end, I think the goal was to be a playoff contending team, and now we're obviously out of that conversation. So he already brought up how he feels bad for the senior. It was a weird comment to me because the season's definitely not over. But if that's your goals and expectations, which I think are good and valid heading into the year, and now that's truly out of reach, I get it. But what I'm definitely scared of is, in this scenario, just chalking it, basically what Austin said, is chalking it up to injuries and kind of brushing it off and not addressing the true problems of why we're even at this point, I guess, and some of the games that have happened. And like, to me, obviously, I'm not going to say you can't put 0% on injuries, because that obviously is a thing, but I'm with you. That's part of building your roster, building your team 1-2 deep. And specifically, we'll talk about it when we switch over to the offense with TJ, having people that can step in and doesn't have to overhaul your system. And while I'm not saying TJ is Dylan and he's a better option or as good of an option, I do think you should not have to take a huge step back. It's not like Dylan's been an elite by any means in his 2 years here. He's been good. He's been a good quarterback, but there's definitely things that he lacks. So I'm really scared of that scenario. And when I say scared, I mean that if I start hearing, fans are one thing, but if I start hearing coaches and players talk about, it was just unfortunate that, guys, I'll tell you, I'm gonna be out on Rule very, very fast, and I will be vocal about it. Now, there's also, I think the narrative right now is not to make excuses, but I don't think you can make excuses right now for year 3 and where we're at. I don't want to hear that. I think our philosophy and some different things have to change. And if we brush it off because we make excuse here, excuse there, I don't think that's good for the future.
I don't anticipate. Oh, go for it, Doc.
So the reason why Dylan got hurt is, like you said, you don't want to mask all injury or all the problems the mask does have. why is the reason Dylan got hurt? Because the main reason or the main problem for the team, the O line. Like,
Agreed.
yeah. So that's you can't hide that anymore, and that's I guess we're gonna see now because we were kind of calling for a little bit more Latif. How much different / better is the offense going to look now that you have a quarterback back there that can move? And Mass's offensive line that's pretty bad.
Yeah. I don't think that we're going to go into the offseason being like, gosh, we don't need to fix anything. I don't think that's going to happen, regardless of how the year ends. I think the coaching staff knows that our O line and D line need improved, and we'll have other issues to handle. I mean, half of our secondary is a senior.
Yeah, and that to me is year 3. I mean, I don't want to have to reset and say, oh man, we're it just to me tells you that's what this group and this staff has believed in to get us to the point of where we're at. And this year had everything set up, as we've talked about, to have a very, very successful year. I just I would not see it getting any better if that scenario plays out. And you're right. I mean, one thing is, Dak, you mentioned the offensive line. That's obviously, as we've talked about, the most important piece to whatever you're trying to do. But two, another thing, you talk about Dylan's injury, and something that we said it all along this offseason and tried to push it, and we had a Dylan Raiola weight watch that hasn't gotten, maybe marginally better from last year, but it's not like that. That was something too, that the narrative was, oh, you're going to see a different Dylan. We really aren't. He still can't run. He's still not mobile. He didn't lose any weight. Maybe he transformed his body a little bit, but like, to me, it was all kind of a tell you what you want to hear versus what we're actually seeing. And I still truly believe in college football, if you need to have a quarterback that can run to be successful. I'm not saying I'm a running quarterback first, but a quarterback that can move and run, unless your offensive line is the likes of the top 5 in the country, which we clearly don't have. And I don't expect us to have that in the near future. Well, maybe, unless we spend 10 million on it.
How about how about we do this, boys? Since we're at the 3/4 mark of the season, I can't remember if we did this halfway mark or the 1st quarter mark. Let's give our grades on how you think the season's gone so far. I'm going to say. Well, I wasn't even thinking about what I was going to say. Let's.
I would say B-.
I was going to say
3. There are 2 losses, happen to be 2 top. They're both top 25 teams, which sucks, but they're both, less than a 7-point loss. The USC loss, we lost our starting quarterback while we were up in the game, which, so we get into that game 6-2. The Minnesota loss is like obviously the skid mark of our nice little whitey tighties that we had on.
Yeah, doesn't that feel like that was like years ago?
Yeah, I'd say probably B-. We're definitely
C- for me.
I was gonna go C+. It's just how bad the 2 lines have looked for me is what's the main problem here. And how there's been no fix or change to it all year. It's just like, I guess we're gonna roll with it.
I will say we're lucky that Penn State's down, because that was going to be definitely a chalked up loss.
Yeah.
I mean, we're probably not going to hit our win total over of 7.5. We could. Got to win 2 more games. I mean, that's where my head's kind of at, is we've won pretty much all the games that we've won all the games that we've won. The games that we've won are games that we should have won. And the games that we've lost are games that we probably were projected to lose, except for the Minnesota game. So to me, that's where I'm like, we have not met expectations.
Yeah, but you're not looking at it through the lens of Nebraska football in the last 10 years. We've lost the games that we're supposed to win. This is the first year I feel like we've won.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. But is that good enough in your mind? I guess that's the question. And
I think it is. I mean, it's a step. If we do this again next year, then it's like, okay, well,
but we're not gonna have as many should have won games next year. I'll say that.
You don't know that. Look, you're already counting us out next year.
No, oh, yeah, I do know that.
No, you don't.
Yeah, if
You
you
don't
look at our
know that.
schedule, we will
Yeah,
not
yeah,
have
but-
as many should
yeah,
have
but
won
Hunter-
games next year as we will this year.
I
promise
think
you
we've
that.
learned. I think we've learned from the last 2 years. We can't look at the schedule. Last year we thought it was gonna be easy. Indiana was super good and all that. This year we thought Penn State was gonna be the hardest game ever, and UCLA is gonna be the easiest.
And those have flipped spots.
Yeah,
This year our schedule has been the easiest it's been in our lifetime. I mean, I don't say our lifetime, in the last 10 years.
look at that non-con next year. There's nobody. Like, it's. I just don't think, and I learned this after last year. You can't look ahead anymore on the Big Ten side. We have no clue what these teams are going to look like coming in the year. And
I disagree. I disagree. You can make a pretty good assumption on what team. The only team this year that I think is out of place from heading into the year is who? Penn State. Everybody else has done exactly what they probably have done.
I feel like Cincinnati was better than we thought they were going to be.
Yeah. Cincinnati.
Good.
God, I can't think of any. I'm trying to back my argument up, but I don't think I can. I don't think there's any other team.
Penn State's the only one that UCLA obviously dipped early, but they're back. I mean, this is what
I'm
thought
glad that we could get this out of the way now, Hunter. We could, next season, we could just take it off. We're gonna lose all those games. What's the point?
That's
what I'm saying. If things don't
We
change,
haven't even lost the last 3 games yet, Hunter.
I know. But we're in this what if scenario. We are in the what if scenario of going on. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we're in the 0-3 scenario right now.
Yeah, but what if we go 3-0?
Oh yeah, we can go there. We haven't got there yet. I'm talking the 0-3 scenario.
Yeah, you're
0-3. I'm out on Rule, and I will be calling for his head very, very fast.
We know, like we've said before, we know what they're gonna say is happening, and Rule's not in any jeopardy anymore getting fired just because. Oh, I lost the quarterback, lost a bunch of linemen. Like, all right, Austin, you gotta go. I don't.
falling apart.
Yeah, that's what scares me, and it's to me that's a definition, it's a sign of mediocrity. If that happens now, okay, we can move on from the 0-3, but that to me that's just probably means because we're not going to be favored in any of them. That's probably what's the most likely scenario, but there's also a chance that we go the other extreme and we could go 3-0. And in that scenario, there's some probably good things that have happened to get us to go 3-0. And those things being TJ is very good. And the point is proven, if he's very good, he probably is very good with his legs and arm.
Yeah.
And mentally in a good spot. And then it looks like this coaching staff did do a good job of finding, a second too deep quarterback. And the good news with that scenario is that it probably shows, I hope, the importance of having a mobile quarterback with a shitty offensive line. And therefore, a couple things could happen as a result of that. One, Dylan actually takes it serious to lose weight and says, oh shit, it is important that I can move in the pocket and lose some weight. Or two, which I don't think probably is likely, but could happen, we just roll with TJ and Dylan leaves. if TJ is very, very, very good. and wins his last 3 games, because I'll tell you, it will be news to the news with everybody if that happens. And again, that to me, that's a good positive thing for the future of Nebraska football. If we go 3-0, obviously we're 9-3. Winning these last 3 games is underdogs, games we probably aren't favored to win. Like, to me, that implies a lot. And I think that's really good for the program. And yeah, I'm obviously in on Rule if that happens. Like, I think I'm there.
Okay, well, let's hear. I'm going to be interested to hear where you're at on Rule with if we go 2-1 or 1-2.
Oh, and let's stay on 3-0. I want to hear your guys'
Well,
3-0 thoughts.
Okay, well, 0-3. I don't know. I feel pretty much, again, it depends on how TJ looks.
3-0, not 0-3.
Or sorry, 3-0.
I thought you jumped back for a second. I'm like,
No. Because 2 of those games is be like, okay, yeah, we should have won these games, regardless of if we have decent quarterback play. You know, our team should have beat Penn State, whose wheels fell off at the beginning of the year, and they just, once their quarterback got hurt, they definitely weren't recovering. Like, I think they would have been fine if Drew Aller didn't get hurt. I think they would have been an okay team. I don't think they would have been whatever they are now. Not quite. They're 500, 1 under, 1 over. I don't know where they're at.
They might be fighting for a bowl game still. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think they were 4-4, so they know they're still.
They're 3-5 right now.
So yeah. So I think if Drew Aller doesn't get hurt, I think they have 6 wins at this point of the year. I think even without James Franklin, that would have happened. Because I think starting quarterbacks matter. I really do. You're still just college kids. We're not Alabama with Bryce Young on the bench. Penn State should be, but we're not. Go for it, Dak.
Well, I was gonna say these other teams don't use your starting quarterback. You're like, oh shit, the season's over. I don't think Latifi can say that.
No,
like,
partly because the opponents who play, and partly because of
how he looked in those games. Besides USC, I guess he looked like shit.
But Dylan looked like a world beater in those same games. I mean, Dylan looked like he was going to win the Heisman and, right off into the sunset. Yeah, I don't know. 3-0. I feel good. I feel great about beating Iowa. It's a top 20. It's our first top 20 win in almost 10 years.
We should feel not just good. We should feel great. If we win out and go 3-0, we should feel great about everything. I mean,
prior to Dylan's injury, at halftime last week, I honestly thought we were going to go 3-1 to end the year. So I feel like it would line up with what I expected our team to do with a healthy Dylan Raiola.
And I said the same thing. I would have been very, very happy with the direction of everything heading into last week if we would have went 3-1 to end the year. Like, and my point still stands. It still stays the same. It just happens that we lost the first game of those 4.
Yeah, I'd be happy. I'm not gonna but I definitely changes. I don't expect that. That's the difference, I guess.
Yeah. Jumping into like the middle scenarios, and here's where things I think get very hairy, and for myself, anyways, I don't know. I do think, like you said, you just mentioned the expectations. It does come down to a little bit of what you expect and what you want, and whether you think that the direction things are going are going to get you to that point. I guess right now the goal for me is consistently being a playoff contender year in and year out. And my opinion is that if we don't have a change in philosophy with what we're trying to do, I'm kind of talking about offense more than defense, but just in how we play, I don't think we're going to get there. I just don't believe it. And when the philosophy that I'm talking about and the style is Iowa, Minnesota football. And that starts by building an offensive line. It starts
But
by
neither of those
establishing.
programs have mobile quarterbacks, or historically have ever had mobile
Correct. Yeah.
quarterbacks.
Yeah. A
What do you
version
want?
of it.
What do you want, Hunter?
A
What do you
version of
want?
it.
Oh, you want everything. You
I
want your
want.
cake and
Yeah,
your
I want to be.
pie.
I want a strong offensive line, a run first quarterback, or a mobile quarterback
Oh,
that can
it came
move.
out. He said it, Dak. It wasn't just a
Yep,
mobile
he
quarterback.
he, he
wanted
I
wants
do want a
Latif.
run first quarterback. I would like that, but more in the pass
He wants
first.
Latif over Raiola. Is what he's saying.
That's what I'm hearing.
So what I'm saying is I don't think that we're going to get there. I don't if we continue with I don't know what we're trying to do. That's the problem. I was going to send out a survey. Maybe we'll do it after this week to people like what is our philosophy, our identity as a program? Because here's what's frustrating. Rule has stated that's what he wants to be and what he believes in, but that's not what's happening because we're not. He's saying it, but it's not. He doesn't know how to do it because our offensive line is not good, and that was one this year that we didn't have much concern with. We thought it was gonna be better. Well, clearly it's not good, and then you add the element of Dylan's uncle as the offensive lines coach. Like those things need to change. And if they don't change, why the hell should anybody believe that we're going to be a playoff contender under Matt Rule? And maybe in Austin, I guess maybe into act both of you to ask you, do you think that we're gonna make a change and go get offensive linemen next year? Do you believe that that's what we're going to do if we end up going at whatever 7-5 or 8-4? Do you think
this
that'll
last
be a
year,
focus?
two of our starters this year are transfers that we got. Two of the
If
five.
that's
Okay,
not what they go
and
do,
that's great. How have they done? I when I say get offensive linemen, there's go get them, but get the right guys.
not
But
Pritchard.
we've talked about the quality of offensive linemen that enter the portal. They just don't.
So I got a text from somebody that I was forwarded on. So who knows again the truth of it? But they said offensive linemen, good offensive linemen in the portal cost a lot, just because.
Oh, wait a second here. Who's this end guy? You can't say his
can't tell
name.
us.
Yeah. Whoa.
They're just offensive linemen cost a lot, and so far Nebraska has not been. We have not had the funds and money to pay them.
So is that a Matt Rule problem or a Nebraska problem?
Both.
Well, okay. I'm gonna say where you can get this money from now. This kind of a off the whim joke. Where all this money can go now is Nebraska leads the Big Ten alcohol sales start the year. So
Dak,
That's
go
true.
away. Stop. Go away.
what? Huh?
We do
Yeah,
lead the year.
$2 million.
Yeah.
That's great. I don't know what
No.
percentage that's going directly to NIL, but
No, if Nebraska doesn't, which is next year's problem again with Rule, if they don't focus on the offensive line, doesn't get better, then he's got to go. Like that's every fan knows what the problem is, and D line too. Like you got to figure out that problem. But
The D line though has looked good this year, or it's down.
okay. Sorry, Austin. Why should we be accept and be okay with our D line being down this year? Why is that okay?
Well, I'm just saying I don't think it's indicative of Matt Rule's tenure to be
Why
like our
not?
D line always sucks. What do you mean why not?
I'm not saying
Literally
it's
looked good the
tenure.
last
I'm
2
saying
years.
now in year 3, why should we be okay with having a bad D line?
there's a really good answer to that.
What is it, Dak?
Lost defensive coordinator, lost a lot of players.
Yeah, again, where does that go back on? I'm just saying it's year 3 now. Like why should we be taking steps back in anywhere?
I don't think it's fair to assume that every year our defensive line is going to be the best unit on the team. Our defensive line's fine. It's not great.
Our defensive line's bad.
I want to go fine. I don't. I go bad. Like it's been almost as bad as the O line, I would say. I just which D line, like you're saying about O line, I think D line's almost easier to find transfer portal guys. Have you got any messages about that, Hunter?
No.
No. All right. we need to find his inside guy. We'll get out of you by the end of the year. But no, if those two lines don't get better, I think Rule's got to go by next year, and that's next year's problem. But
It's got, like I said, it's got to be it. That right there in itself is the identity change, the philosophy change, and we have put a lot of energy and focus in on Dylan, and I'm not saying that's wrong. I just don't know that we went about it the right way. By yes, we got Dylan. Well, then what did we load up on and pay people? Who do we pay? I mean, Dane Key's been meh, and Isaiah Hunter's been solid. Ja'Cory Barney's not even really existent this year so far. Like Emmett Johnson, obviously, thank God for him. Like I don't like. It's not like we went out and got draft picks for skill guys around him. We got some decent players, but you can it's been evident, it's been shown that if you don't have an offensive line, it's hard to get the ball to those guys. It's hard to run any type of offense, whatever you're trying to do, if you don't have an offensive line. And no, those guys are not the guys that are flashy. But here we go the other night driving home. All I see is, oh, breaking news. We get a 4-star wide receiver recruit. I literally did not care. Like, I was like, great. I did not care at all. I until we get a 4-star offensive lineman in the recruiting, or multiple, I should say. Like,
You just got a 5-star this year. Wasn't Pritchard a 5-star?
He
a former
was.
5-star.
Yeah, so
Was Grant Bricks 5-star?
Could have. I'm not sure. I don't. Maybe I don't know. But and again, recruiting rankings is one thing. That's the starting point of maybe being excited about future. But obviously, they have to be good and the right guys. Like, again, Pritchett's at the start, and Rocco Spindler's at the start. But that to me is where we'll when we're talking about Harry 2-1, 1-2 in the middle conversation. Like, the message across the board from, are we going to sit back and make excuses and when the year's over and talk about injuries and talk about all this stuff, or are we going to use it as an opportunity to say, shit, we need some things to change, and that starts with getting an offensive line. And again, going back to it's not like this philosophy thing that I'm talking about. Rule said it before. He spoke it. He said that where we have to start and be. Well, we got away from it. And when I say we, you wonder how much of that's Dana. I don't know. Like, Dana came out and said it this week. We're going to be a run first team. Hallelujah. I think everybody, and including myself, I'm going to say myself included, we kind of at one point thought maybe this Dylan's experience, the passing, get some talented receivers at the time that we thought we thought maybe this could work the way this season started. Well, I will say I was dead wrong on that, like thinking that, and thinking that that's how you could be in good offense. And I mean, what's our offense this year? To me, it's average. It's very average.
still don't really know what they, like you said, identity wise, what they.
I think I heard the numbers, like, as far as where we're ranking right now, we're in the 40s and 50s in about a lot of categories. Like,
yeah,
it's very average, which again, it is, I guess you can say that is a step up, but if your goal is to be competing in the college football playoff, the question is, are we going to see improvement in that with our current style and philosophy? So we can move into offensive talk too. I think that's my kind of the next topic I want to talk about was just what the offense is going to look like this week, specifically.
We can move there. I hear what you're saying. I think I disagree with some of the points. I still think, I think from where Matt Rule came in, obviously year 3, we should see improvement, which I feel like we have. We're the youngest team in the Big Ten. I think at times that shows. But I've caught myself. I'm not worried about penalties. I'm not worried about turnovers. And last week against USC with a backup quarterback in, I straight up thought we were going to go down and score. It wasn't like we're going to lose another short game, which I think is progress.
Okay.
I think it's negligent to.
I'll end
Ignore
here
all
because you said it and you're right. Here's what we fixed. We fixed the turnovers and the penalties and made it clean football. From beating ourselves basically in stupid ways like that. Like that's what we have now, I think, overcame from the Scott Frost era. And I completely agree with that. And I completely agree that's progress. I guess I'm already, and maybe it's not right to jump to the next step of it, but
What?
I've moved on now to say, okay, we checked that box, we've improved there. Now can we take the next step? So yeah, okay, well, yeah, to checking that box, that should get you to 6 wins, like, and we are, so that's great. And I've kind of moved on to the next step of elevating us to 8, 9, 10 wins, college football playoff conversation. Specifically, not to get into our schedule again, I think this year was an opportunity to do it, where future years are going to be a little more difficult. That's where my head's going now with all this conversation. But you're right, from the turnover standpoint and penalty standpoint and cleaning things up.
And I think with our current offensive line and defensive line, with a healthy Dylan Raiola, I believe we would be, regardless of how the year shakes out, I think we would have been an 8-win team regardless. I think we would have gone 2-4 for sure. 2 of 2 at the last 4 games.
Yeah, enough of this negativity, Hunter. Which you're talking about excuses. I'm over excuses. You can't. No more excuses. F those. It's like you gotta own up to it. Anyway, enough of this negativity here. What's one part that improved the most? What's one unit of the ball that has improved?
Special teams.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Yep. We forgot about them. You gotta give that credit. I mean, it's a lot of it's Eckler, but you got to give that credit to Rule 2. He went out and found Eckler. He's like, we got to improve this part, which makes me think that he's gonna. Well, they have to go improve the O-line, D-line. The fact that he went out there and was like, all right, this is the main problem coming in. Like coming in the year, that probably was the main concern for the team, was how bad that special teams unit is.
Rebels has been pretty good about pivoting. We need to talk about UCLA, but he's been pretty good. Like, our offense was looking bad. He demoted his coach and brought in a offensive coordinator midseason.
Yeah.
Brought in special
So
teams
I'm
guy.
hoping that we're not going to get clouded and overshadowed into the Dylan Raiola's uncle conversation, because it's the elephant in the room right now as far as what the unit that needs to improve, and it just happens to be a relation there. So these last 3 seasons or games, starting with UCLA this week, like it still is going to tell us a lot about the program. It's not like, as a fan, you should just be out and don't care anymore and move on. Like, there's definitely reasons to be pissed off and frustrated, and there's also part of me that, you know what, he still finishes year 3-0. That shows that some right decisions and thoughts are being made. And TJ Lateef starting at quarterback this week, and knowing that he's starting at quarterback, I think after the game, before the news came out about Dylan being out, you didn't know how much Dylan was going to play. Well, now we know. And again, not saying bless his soul that Dylan got hurt, but it's at least we know, for the rest of the year, we have to build an offense and identity and whatever that looks like around TJ to make him comfortable as a freshman, and whatever that playbook looks like, it needs to fit his strengths.
Yeah.
The offense is going to probably look different. And talk about the identity and what I want, it's going to look a lot more like what I want. And if things go very, very well, then I think that's a very good sign, because it might have shown everybody this is good. Now, there's also a part of it that TJ could just be a very, very poor passing quarterback, and he doesn't have any ability
we-
there.
Can we dive into that real quick?
That's what we're talking about, Dak.
No, I'm talking about Latif. If he struggles,
That's what we're talking about.
well, okay.
Let's
All right,
dive in.
let's dive into that real quick then. If Latif struggles, like just looks terrible, I just don't think Husker fans, and me too, I won't be out on him. I don't think you can be out on Latif. He's a true freshman, got thrown in the fire basically. I just don't think. I don't think these 3 games should be what people judge him on.
No, but I
But you kind of
think
have to.
if he comes out and he has another 3 fumble game, just build and play style wise, Jeff Sims is gonna be the first thing that comes to people's mind.
Speaking of him, I don't know if this is fake. Pac-12 Player of the Week or not Pac-12, whatever
He
conference.
had like 228 rushing yards.
Yep, Big 12 Player of the Week right there, Jeff Sims. I told you guys he was good, but all right, that's enough Jeff Sims talk for the
Fumbles, Austin, you're right, is the number one. Protecting the ball, let's just say it in general, pick interceptions, but protecting the ball is the thing that we just talked about that we've overcome. And as a program, and a lot of that is thanks to Dylan. Like, we can't take a step back with TJ, and that's the scary part. That's the fear, I think, from a lot of Nebraska fans heading into this game, is that in itself. I think if you don't turn the ball over, you're in this game. You're not getting blown out. But the way that you lose this game 28-10 is if you have 3 turnovers.
Yep, it sure is.
Yeah,
and I think we're gonna have 1 or 2 for sure.
Now here's another topic. How excited are you guys for Saturday's game? Because with no playoff hopes or anything, are you guys just excited to see what Latif does? Or are you guys excited to see what
I am excited
the
to watch
whole Nebraska team looks like now?
I'm excited to watch Latif after seeing him in those high school games. I'm thrilled that it's an 8 p.m. game. I love 8 p.m. away games specifically because I can just go home. I'm done for the day. I'm just gonna watch the game and I'm gonna go to bed. I'm really excited about that. I don't know. I don't really care about UCLA as an opponent, so there's that aspect of. But they're also the team that if you lose to, you feel bad. If you win, you don't feel great. It's not like the non-con games, so I'm torn. I'm excited to see how the offense operates. I hope we see more passes from TJ than we did last week. I understand how last week shook out and it was a mid-drive change, but
yeah,
we definitely. I shouldn't say definitely, but I think we will. Like, there's going to be more time to prepare.
There was part of me that thinks, do you think it'd be best if you put in, Muzi or some of those backup receivers that he's been practicing with more, that he has a better, I don't know, connection with?
Maybe. I don't know how the practice structure is.
I don't know
what I'm not sure. I don't know. Is he playing scout team? Is he throwing to those guys? Like, is he? Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but I do think the playbook is obviously going to look different. And while I do want it to be a run first playbook, there obviously is going to be some sort of passing element to it. And, the best case hopeful scenario is that with a mobile quarterback and Emmett being Emmett the last, I guess, the whole season, the way he's been, like, you might have some opportunities to open up the field deep, and linebackers might not be able, and DNs might not be able to scream up the field on pass rush, and you maybe have some time, hopefully, to throw some of those. Right now, I mean, teams are UCLA or USC did it. Heck, Minnesota did it. Teams are just daring us to beat us down the field vertically because, one, we don't have time to even get a receiver down there to throw it. So that takes half the worry off if you're a defense. And then, two, do we have the guys that can stretch the field vertically? And the answer to that is, I don't know. So hopefully that's what we see with TJ back there, is there's a little more I don't know.
We are facing UCLA off of a bye week.
This your time to shine, Hunter. You've been banging for running quarterback. Let's see what we got.
Yeah,
This
I mean,
your time to shine.
building. I think building. So yeah, to your question about am I excited? Yeah, I mean, obviously not playoff implication type excited because it's not
That's out the window.
which was last game, which it kind of was last game, but I still don't even know if it really was. It was an elimination game. I do. I think this thing could look good. I hope it does, but we'll just have to see. There's a lot of elements here of on the road true freshmen, and yeah, UCLA is coming off. UCLA is coming off the ass whooping by Indiana, which we know what that felt like. And
Their previous 2 games, though, they played Maryland and Michigan State, which they both beat.
correct, they're comparable to us. Like they are. That's where they're at. And going on the road, like we'll see. And well, Nico, I'm Yima Lava, I'm Aliva.
I'm Aliva is what I like. Ever since his Tennessee departure, I'm Aliva.
I'm a suck. Is that what his name is?
It was. No, he was. He wasn't very good. Well, he's looked pretty damn good the past 4 games, 5 games, and kind of came around. So that's also there.
I mean they've totally different than Penn State. They've I don't know if they just hated that coach so much at UCLA that they were like, all right, thank God he got fired. But they have looked like a totally different team since they fired their coach. A lot. They looked like the worst team, like no joke, in Division I with their head coach, and now they look like if they had whatever. I don't know who their interim is. You guys probably know who he is, but
I don't know either.
Yeah, they looked like a totally different team, which I think we talked about this at the quarter point of the season. What game are you guys least worried about? UCLA was number 1, and now they look like a true threat and should worry us Husker fans.
I mean, we're talking. So UCLA's defense is terrible against the run.
Yeah,
they're 124th nationally, but they are 24th nationally against the pass. So not what you want to see with a true freshman quarterback. I guess you don't want to see that good passing defense but we might be able to move the ball on the ground. I honestly don't know how to read into this UCLA team just because of, you're right. The first half of the year they were 0-4 and we're like, yep, that was right. But now they've won 3 of their last 4 and they lost to Indiana, which they could lose out. If they lose to us, then they play Ohio State, Washington, USC. So I mean they could still look like a terrible team, but you look at their schedule and it's pretty rough. But they lost to New Mexico, UNLV, and Northwestern. But they played Utah week 1, which Utah looks pretty good now.
Hey, yeah, Austin, you said there how bad their rush defense is stat wise. I mean, I think that's obviously it doesn't bode well for a freshman quarterback, but it bodes very, very well for Emmett Johnson. And I mean, the type of year he's having. And we talked about early on, even after the Cincinnati game, how we got to get other guys involved. Well, right now everybody's like, no, we don't.
Just give it to him. He's gonna get half of our offensive yards.
Yeah, and get him to 30 carries again. I mean, I think that's where he's at. You know, ride him until he literally has nothing left, and he's been proven that he can do that. So that to me is once UCLA's game plan focus going to be coming into a game, one, knowing Emmett's done what he's done. 2, our offensive line, the health status and the moving pieces and musical chairs that we've had to sub people in with. And then 3, obviously, a freshman quarterback. Like what, to me, the obvious strategy is put all of your energy and resources and efforts into stopping the run at the best that you can. And I think what that could hopefully lead to us is some more open guys in the passing game. And that to me will help TJ, I think, because they will have to be so focused on
Right.
the run game, including the quarterback run game, which I think it's important. But that hopefully could bode well for our offense. Now, the question is a week of install and preparation of whatever that playbook looks like with Dana. Is that going to be enough time to put that in? If Dana's not the good offensive coordinator that we hope he is, I mean, it should be.
Yeah. I mean, part of the reason that they're ranked so similar to us of why we're ranked so high passing defense is we are good. We're number 2 in the nation, but it's because our run defense is so terrible. Teams don't have to pass against us, So similar to us, USC is defense, pass defense looks good, but that's because we're so bad stopping the run that teams don't pass the ball against us because like, well, why would I if I'm getting 8 yards on the ground? I think a week. I would assume TJ's skill set, they've been working on it all year. I don't think, I understand you're not practicing that with your offensive line and stuff, but
you hope. I mean, good. That's what a good coaching. Yeah. I mean, that's what a good program coaching staff would do. I mean, you'd hope that it's not starting from scratch.
Yeah, I just think. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't hear what you guys saying. I was looking. There's something on TV right there. My bad. but okay, what I'm gonna say. My bad. I got a little distracted. Okay, my bad. Let's So this is what I think the offense should look like this week.
There you go. You guessed right. Nailed it.
I was listening to you guys the whole time. I was joking with you. Anyway, I think with how bad their running defense is, which just might be, you don't really want Latif to get hurt. So, but you're gonna have to run him more, which we've been begging for them to run Raiola, which they refuse to, and I think it could be Raiola's fault. Run him more, maybe, and this might get Hunter jumping through the wall. Break out the option a little bit. not the triple option, just the running back option wise. And you know what? F it. Let him air out the ball. Like
you better explain that because those are two different things.
Okay, well, I want to mix
the option and air it out.
I'm not saying do both the whole time, but
you just said run the ball hard, and then you just said to air it out.
Damn, all right. That makes sense. But God, I did throw myself in a loop there. Let's
go back to watching your TV.
All right, yeah, I'll just if I'd lean heavy one way, since he's freshman quarterback, run the option, run them all the time. But don't be afraid to throw the ball like Nebraska was last week. Or conservative on offense.
I guess from a defensive standpoint and stopping UCLA's offense, I don't think we can't give up, which we haven't. We didn't against USC. I don't think it can get in the 30s. I think we want to keep it, a game in the 20s or less than that. I think we have the ability to do it. UCLA's offense is, I think, just very average. From what I've heard and seen, like they're very balanced.
They hurt themselves plenty.
Yes.
They have a ton of penalty yards and they're bad at turning the ball over.
I mean, if I'm UCLA, I'm coming into the game like most teams have and saying, let's run the ball until Nebraska can stop it. And I guess we'll see if we can. Like, USC was a unique team because they were pass heavy and that was their strength. And they were the number one offense in the country based on some stats. And I thought we did a pretty good job of obviously containing them to 21 points. And there are a lot of good things defensively that we did. This game, I think, is kind of back a little bit. While UCLA is still an out West California team, they probably are going to focus on the run a lot more. and we got to be ready to stop it like we do.
They have
Can
a
we
running
do-
quarterback, which we have not done well against. We have not done
Correct.
well against dual threat quarterbacks.
He's still
Um,
not. Yeah, he still has an arm a little bit, but I would say more so than I don't know who's our most running quarterback threat. Probably Sorsby's been the
Yeah.
most threat.
Yeah.
He's probably more close to Sorsby than anybody.
Childs, maybe.
Maybe Childs.
No, Underwood.
Maybe Underwood.
Yeah, I think I understand Underwood, but I don't think we need to get in that argument about who's the best running quarterback Nebraska's played.
The worst, I think, as far as our defense this week. So we are 128th in the FBS and red zone defense, and they're 6th in red zone offense. So it's going to be important that we don't let them get down to the end zone.
Here's what was really good.
For the
Which
25
we
red
were
zone.
bad in red zone defense and offense the whole year. We have been. We did a pretty good job against USC on that last week.
Yep, we did.
And Rule talked about like that. That must have been a point of focus here for this team, you know, at the halfway point and moving forward. And that was achieved.
I do think part of that was home field advantage. I think the blackout crowd and the noise. There was several times where it was 4-1 and they were going to go for it, and they get a holding or a false start call and moved them back a little bit.
And that's on Lincoln Riley.
Times.
That's on Lincoln Riley. Yeah, I
got him. He said that the home crowd was worth 10 points.
Yeah, but how much losing? How many points losing your starting quarterback?
Also fair.
Yeah.
How much is UCLA's crowd worth?
0. Negative. like I actually think it could be negative. Like the players come out like, oh crap, look at this. This is like I might put the players down for UCLA. So if we're talking about crowd, what percentage do you guys think the Husker fans will be there? Because UCLA fans won't show out for this.
It'll be like a 50%.
Yeah,
it's a good estimate. I heard 25,000-ish Nebraska fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. This week, I really don't think Nico's like that big of a run threat. I mean, he is. He reminds me of who was the guy that was taking run? Oh, kind of Alva this week, where he will run, but he's not that big of a threat. Like he will take off if Nebraska can let him. Just don't.
He has 81 carries. Now again, I don't know what these stats include sacks or not, but he has like 400 yards on 80 carries.
College it is. That includes sacks.
Okay, so he is a good runner then. I'm pretty good runner.
Good research, boy.
But he's not. I don't think they're drawing up design runs for this guy. I
think he's their leading rusher. Am I wrong?
They are definitely just whatever reason this usually happens when interim coaches come in, they decide to run their quarterback more, and it's probably because they don't feel like they have to worry about him getting hurt. Virginia Tech's doing the same thing with drones. Yes, they are designing more design runs for him too.
He has 140 yards more than the next highest rusher on his team.
Yes.
So he's a runner, Dak.
Yeah, I always thought of him.
Dak, once again, don't try to make stuff that you think you know if you don't know it. Don't make assumptions about Nico if you don't actually know what they're doing.
Well, I know I should have looked. But every time I've thought about him, I've always thought of him as a passer. That's what I always thought about.
Okay.
So
if you're insinuating that he's a better passer than runner, I don't know.
He's a definition to me of a balanced quarterback. I've always thought that.
He is pretty balanced. He has 7 interceptions on the year, 10 touchdowns, 14 total. He's been sacked 19 times for 108 yards. So if you factor that into the rushing yards, he's a pretty good runner, I guess. That's like 500 rushing yards through. Is this their 8th game or 9th game? I know they're coming off a bye. This will be their 9th game.
9th game, yeah. 3 and 5. So yeah, I personally be more worried about him passing. Again, he's a runner. I got that wrong. But anyway, personally, me, I would be more about his passing.
I'm not, because we can't stop the run. So I'm worried about everything to do with running the ball right now. And I thought that gave us our best shot, and we almost pulled it out against USC at home. That's, to me, where the focus should lie. Run the ball, stop the run. I think that's a very simple formula to win a lot of football games.
Make your
All
kicks.
right, let's hear these predictions. We've talked enough about Husker football. My God.
You just want to talk about basketball, don't you?
A little bit. We're running up on time, though, you know?
23-17 Nebraska.
Ooh.
Hold up. I thought you said, hold up. I thought you said last week was your last week. If they lose to UCLA, you ain't picking Nebraska.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Well,
Too late.
I didn't know Dylan was going to get hurt.
Okay, then. Yep.
And I'm trying
give
to
you the free
believe in
pass.
my theory of TJ Lateef being able to run it. So
We'll give you a free pass then. I will go. Good God. 24-17 Nebraska.
I'm going
did okay.
What?
You literally picked my score and added a point to it.
to say, you said 23-17.
Yeah, I
You picked my score and added a
score.
point to it.
I didn't pick your score.
24 is a better number to pick anyways. I'm actually going to go 2017 UCLA.
Oh, wow.
I don't think
think-
TJ is going to look good. I think TJ is going to turn the ball over. Like,
This is what I love. We spent the entire podcast of me being negative Nelly and Austin being positive, and then we just completely are opposite.
They switched the opposite.
Is that the first prediction of a Husker loss on the podcast this season?
No, I predicted us to lose against. I predicted
Michigan.
last week for us to lose against USC.
And I didn't.
Yeah.
Michigan, I think we all three might have said Michigan, but
I don't know about that.
Real quick, I'll briefly mention Nebraska basketball. We've gotten a little deep into some conversation here, so episode's going a little long. Nebraska, we beat
West Georgia
in a first half that was not pretty, in a second half that was very pretty, and ended up covering.
That's
the
usually
spread
how
easily.
those games go, though. Like West Georgia, they're absolutely fired up.
Did you watch that game, Austin?
No, I don't have Big Ten Plus.
West Georgia is absolutely horrific offensively. Like, they are horrible.
And I'll credit our defensive system of the no middle force baseline. If you're not used to playing it, and we're pretty solid at it.
Yeah.
Like it's different. And yeah, they did not look great. We will obviously talk a lot more Nebraska basketball here as the season gets going along, but we play Florida International on Saturday at noon. Games obviously that we're expecting to win, going to be heavy favorites in. I think this team has some pieces. I'm not quite sure what the next steps look like. I think as far as what Austin and I talked about in our preview pod, a lot of that stays the same for me. Like there's nothing in that West Georgia game that changes my mind on that.
Yeah.
Dak obviously did not participate in that.
Rank came out and shot 0 for 2 for 3, so we could, I guess, give up those dreams of Rank being Steph Curry. But yeah, I was gonna say it's West Georgia. We're not gonna read too much into it. We scored 60 points in the second half after a slow start. That's kind of what you expect these games to be. Is usually the other team comes in all fired up and feisty, and you come out a little slower, and by the end of the game, it's put away.
But walking away from that game, Austin, just because you look stat-wise, I don't know about if you saw this guy in person. Walking away from the game, what player are you most hyped up now for the rest of the year? Because I think me and Hunter might have the same person.
Jamarcus Lawrence, is that who?
Nope.
Price Stanford?
Nope.
Stanford? I don't know.
Freshman.
Gail Jacobson? Leo?
Nope. Frager.
Guy listen score.
Frager. That guy is damn good. Like
It's Western Georgia. What I'm encouraged is he probably is going to have a role on this team. I didn't think. I mean, I was not a guy that heading into the year I was like, he's going to be playing minutes for us as a freshman.
I don't think
Yeah.
anyone was thinking that.
He is going to have some spot on this team, and he here's the biggest thing: he shot it well from three, and that to me is I mean, you talk about being excited for something. It's going to be a lot of our guys that can shoot it well. Like I think between Sanford and Asesian and Rank, we were like 1 for 14 from three or something this last
And that's
game.
not going to happen.
Yeah.
You hope that doesn't happen. Having a guy like Frager then also to kind of balance that out helps a lot. So yeah, I agree. That was the one big probably takeaway from Monday night's game.
And I didn't know he had the hops like he did. That dunk was pretty sweet. Alley-oop.
Oh yeah,
So,
that was good. Very good.
So yeah, I wasn't on the Sunday pod, but was Dak right about 3 weeks ago? Oh, they're gonna be pretty good.
That's to be determined.
you're not saying they're really good now after beating old squeaky voice on the sideline.
We'll play FIU this week. Hopefully get a win. It's probably our third hardest non-con game behind Oklahoma and Creighton.
Yeah.
FIU, you're saying?
Yeah, FIU.
No. I mean, I would say New Mexico's up there.
Could be K-State.
If you're looking at team rankings, I think the other one that's ahead of them is Winthrop.
Really?
But other than that, it's next.
Okay.
Oh, and I guess factor in that Kansas State and Mississippi State game. That's the second game of the Kansas City tournament that we will play.
And hopefully beat New Mexico. Yeah. I wasn't here Sunday. You got to come out. Nebraska's come out of non-con with 2 losses or less. That's the main goal right there, and that's my basketball recap right there.
And I don't know. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be probably you have to win.
Yeah,
you got to win the games that you should win, and I mean,
I'll tell you what though, you can't come out like you did the first half and lay a dud like that against a lot of these teams. It's just Western Georgia, so I can see why Nebraska laid a dud the first half, but you can't do that.
Right. If you do that against Oklahoma, Creighton, and Kansas State,
the game would be over.
Probably not winning we're probably losing 3 games. So,
Lady Huskers, no doubt in their game. I mean,
they killed them.
Women's college basketball against bad teams is kind of
totally different.
It's like yeah. You see scores that are 60, 70 points, and there'll be more of those here in the non-con.
It was 60 points to 18 at the end of the first half.
We had some technical difficulties here to end the podcast. Internet connection, my fault. So we were pretty much done. We will be back Monday morning. Go Big Red.